Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have been in talks with Boubacar Kamara's agents in the last few hours. So too have Atletico Madrid. Marca have said that Manchester United are leading the race for Boubacar Kamara. Kamara's most likely destination is the Premier League. Marseille want just £10 million for Kamara. Kamara wants in the region of £150,000 a week. If he's to depart Marseille this month, his contract at Marseille expires at the end of the season. Boubacar Kamara is only the age of 22. He's still very young, got a lot of development in him. He's predominantly a centre defensive midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-back. Boubacar Kamara has been at Marseille for a very long time. He's been with them for around 17 years. He joined Marseille's academy back in 2005. And since he broke into their senior squad, he's made over 100 appearances. So will Manchester United make a signing before the transfer window closes on Monday? Obviously Manchester United want a midfielder because when Rangnick came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. There's been a lot of narratives coming out about Ruben Neves recently. He said Wolves want from between £40 to £45 million if they are to consider offloading Ruben Neves. Manchester United were hoping a bid of £35 million would be enough to convince Wolves to sell him. Arsenal are also interested in him. I think Arsenal are now in talks. I would take Ruben Neves at Manchester United in a heartbeat because he's been an absolute revelation for Wolves. He's still young and he's well proven in the Premier League. He's been at Wolves since 2017. Wolves got him from Porto. Wolves paid £15.8 million. He's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. He's made 170 appearances in the Premier League for Wolves. Manchester United have also been linked with Amadou Haidara throughout this January transfer window. Rangnick knows the player well, which is beneficial. Revert back to earlier on this season, Rangnick said that he wanted Amadou Haidara as his first signing as Man United manager. Declan Rice, he's been a long-term target for Man United. I think Man United will try to get Declan Rice in the summer, but West Ham value Declan Rice at £100 million. Manchester United beat West Ham 1-0 last weekend, and after that game Declan Rice came out and said that I love playing at Old Trafford, so that fueled some speculation up. Rice is predominantly a defensive midfielder but can be deployed as a centre-back. He's been at West Ham for like 7.5 years. He's made 151 appearances for West Ham in the league and he's scored 6 goals. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. And Jude Bellingham, he's also been a long-term target for Manchester United. We've been relentlessly linked with Denis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now on my last video, I gave you the news on Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is willing to stay at Manchester United if Ralph Rangnick remains as boss. Paul Pogba has been impressed with Ralph Rangnick since his arrival. Pogba is open to signing a new contract. Pogba's contract at Manchester United expires in the summer. Revert back to the other month, the Sun said that Manchester United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history, but actually Pogba came out and denied that he'd been offered that contract. Pogba's not yet played a game under Ralph Rangnick because Pogba has been out with injury for a while, but Pogba's set to return to action after this international break. Rangnick confirmed that the other week. Earlier on this season, Pogba apparently told Manchester United that he wants to join Real Madrid in the summer. There again, it said PSG was the most likely destination for Pogba because Pogba did hold talks with PSG. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Manchester United since he rejoined. He's played 212 games and scored 38 times since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and Manchester United paid £89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. Don't forget, we had him when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Donny van de Beek looks like he's leaving Manchester United on loan. Manchester United are open to loaning Donny van de Beek out this month, but no loan move will include an option to buy, as Man United intend to keep Donny van de Beek for next season. Donny van de Beek has agreed personal terms with Crystal Palace and has agreed terms with 2 other clubs, but they've not been named. Crystal Palace obviously have been in talks with Manchester United. Haven't they? Earlier on this season, it said, Donny van de Beek's not allowed to leave Man United this month. Earlier on this season, he had a bust-up with his agents. He is a good player, is Donny van de Beek, but he hasn't been given enough opportunities at Manchester United. He didn't get enough opportunities under Solskjaer, and he certainly hasn't been given enough opportunities under Ralph Rangnick. Van de Beek's only scored 2 goals for the club. He's been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years. Manchester United signed Donny van de Beek from Ajax. We got him for 40 million with add-ons included. Manchester United paid 35 million up front. There was 5 million in add-ons. Van de Beek's got a contract with the club until 2025. There's an option of a further year, and Van de Beek's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Jesse Lingard, it's very likely now we'll have to wait until the summer to offload him, because his move to Newcastle is off because of Manchester United's demands. It said Manchester United want a 15 million loan fee. I heard that Lingard rejected an approach from Everton. West Ham want to re-sign him. At the second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Lingard doesn't get in our team, but he has been part of the club for a long time. Came up our academy and that. Lingard's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Amad Diallo, obviously he joined Rangers on loan until the end of the season without a buy option. It was the right decision to loan Amad Diallo out because he will gain more experience and he'll get a lot more opportunities. He only made a few first team appearances for Man United. By the way, I think Amad Diallo's just scored on his debut for Rangers. And Manchester United also loaned Anthony Martial out to Sevilla until the end of the season. Sevilla didn't pay a loan fee and there's no option to buy. But Sevilla are paying Anthony Martial's wages until June. Ralph Rangnick is willing to let 4 players leave following the emergence of Anthony Elanga. It said earlier on this week that Manchester United have put their search for a new manager on hold after being impressed by Ralph Rangnick since he took charge in December. Manchester United are considering offering Ralph Rangnick the job on a permanent basis. Rangnick so far has had 5 wins from 8 league games. He's only lost 1 game so far, and Rangnick's managed 10 games in all competitions. And he has got Manchester United to the 4th round of the FA Cup. By the way, Rangnick will receive a £500,000 bonus if he leads Manchester United to a top 4 finish. Rangnick earns £180,000 a week. Manchester United, of course, are in the top 4 now because last week Manchester United beat West Ham 1-0 thanks to a 93rd minute winner by Marcus Rashford. You know, there's been good performances under Rangnick. There's also been poor performances as well. You know, Rangnick is Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did initially say that he will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Rangnick's no longer under pressure now, but revert back to earlier on this season, it said Rangnick was already under pressure, and it said, you know, he was losing the Man United dressing room. You know, it said 17 Manchester United players were unhappy and wanted to leave. Manchester United changed formation under Rangnick. Obviously, the new formation we've got is the 4-3-3 formation. That formation seems to suit our standards under Rangnick. Obviously, Rangnick scrapped the 4-2-2 formation because quite clearly that formation wasn't working. Credit to Rangnick though, like I've said so many times before, he has made changes since he's come in. Revert back to earlier on this season, he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armas in as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Challens in as a sports psychologist. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm hoping he can win a trophy at Manchester United this season. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. You know, there's 2 trophies Man United can win, and that's the FA Cup and the Champions League. The other week, Rangnick said that I wanted Erik ten Hag to become Manchester United's new manager in the summer. I presume there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. Erik ten Hag has been at Ajax for around 5 years. He got appointed in as Ajax manager back in 2017. His contract at Ajax expires next year. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax though. You know, he's won a couple of titles with them. Revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. And I like the way he develops young players. Ajax is the 4th club he's managing in his managerial career, because before Ajax he managed Utrecht, before then he managed Bayern Munich's reserves, and before then he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Mauricio Pochettino, he's been relentlessly linked with the permanent role at Man United. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the Moyes era. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite Man United winning the FA Cup under him. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho enjoyed one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, because the board didn't recommend the players he wanted to get in, and he had bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following that 4-1 defeat to Watford. Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. If you do remember rightly, when Solskjaer officially got sacked, he gave a farewell interview, and he got emotional in that farewell interview, which of course was understandable because Solskjaer, adores the club. He was part of the club for a long time. He was Manchester United manager, like I said, for almost 3 years, and Solskjaer enjoyed 11 years as a player for Manchester United. I don't think Manchester United really wanted to sack Solskjaer, but there was left with no choice in the end but to sack him, because revert back to the last few months of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, the performances were very bad and the results were very bad to go with the performances. But reflecting on that, not all of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer. There was also players that had to take responsibility as well. Manchester United did pay Solskjaer off around $7.5 million, because revert back to last summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There was an option of a further year. Manchester United made a mistake giving him that contract, because we knew for a long time that he wasn't the long-term manager for Man United. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. Obviously, the clubs he's managed in his managerial career, obviously he managed Manchester United's reserve team, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. He also managed Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was terrible. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with them. He got sacked by Cardiff because Cardiff got relegated under Solskjaer. Solskjaer enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, won a few Norwegian titles and that at Molde, but let's be honest, they're not a big club, and obviously he managed Manchester United's senior squad. Ollie had a proven pedigree when he was a Man United player, because he won a lot of trophies as a player. His most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final at the Nou Camp back in 1999. He won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. Solskjaer did not win a trophy when he was Man United manager, and I said, he wasn't capable of winning trophies as a manager. But revert back to the start of this season when Solskjaer was Man United manager. I said, this season was going to be massive for him. And I said he had big expectations to exceed. Quite clearly, the expectations were far too high for him to exceed. And he was under pressure because, revert back to last summer, Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. Last summer Manchester United made 4 signings. 3 of the 4 signings were major signings. Plus as well, last summer Solskjaer received very good backing from the board. Solskjaer did get appointed in back in December 2018. To replace Mourinho. Solskjaer was the interim manager in his first 3 months. He did well as the interim manager, so the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. Manchester United spent over £400 million under Solskjaer. And Solskjaer signed around 14 players when he was Manchester United manager. Let me put into the equation as well, he also got rid of a lot of players. He got rid of a lot of players permanently. He also loaned players out. The players Solskjaer got rid of permanently when he was Man United manager, he released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. He also let players like Ashley Young leave, Valencia leave, he let Smalling leave. That trio were on-serving players at the club. He also let Darmian leave. He let Fellaini leave back in January 2019. Wasn't he the first player to leave when we had Ole? He let Angel Gomez leave, Ander Herrera, Romelu Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez. Of course, last summer he offloaded Daniel James. So they're a lot of the players he got rid of permanently. I can't remember all the players he loaned out. Some progress was made under Solskjaer. Obviously, in his first full season, he did get us to 3 semi-finals and he got us a 3rd place finish. Then in his second full season, which of course was last season, he got us to the Carabao Cup semi-final. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. He got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final as Man United manager, but unfortunately he didn't win it. And last season he got us a 2nd place finish. And let me also put into the equation, when Manchester United had Solskjaer, Manchester United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. And to be fair, I like the way Solskjaer developed the youth when he was Man United manager. So there you go. But like I say, nothing has changed at Manchester United, even though we have sat 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. Like I've said, no one is going to replicate what Sir Alex Ferguson did at the club. Ed Woodward, he's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The good news is, from Man United perspective, that Woodward is stepping down at the end of this month. Ed Woodward's had like a 17-year association at the club. It said Richard Arnold will replace Ed Woodward as a new chief executive on the 1st of February. The Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16 and a half years now. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to April last year. Man United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and at Old Trafford because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. In the end, the Glazers apologised. Well, that's what Solskjaer said when he was Man United manager. But in the last, 9 years is it now or so, Man United must have spent around 1.2 billion. We've brought over 40 players in since Ferguson retired. And let me put into the equation, none of this squad is Rangnick's. Rangnick's inheriting players who other managers have brought in. I've been talking with you a lot about Cristiano Ronaldo, haven't I? Reports from Spain are saying that Cristiano Ronaldo is asking for a Real Madrid return. Before, Cristiano Ronaldo endured like 9.5 years at Real Madrid. That's before he went to Juventus. Ronaldo's asked his agent George Mendes to find him another club because quite clear Ronaldo's unhappy at Manchester United. Well, it's already said Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer if they fail to qualify for the Champions League, and Ronaldo faces a 25% pay cut should Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League. Ronaldo did play against West Ham last week. He did well, to be fair. Could have won a penalty in the first half, and he played a part in Marcus Rashford's winning goal. He was a doubt for the West Ham game, wasn't he? Because prior to the game, he actually picked up a neck injury, but obviously recovered from the neck injury. Ronaldo's had a few injuries since he re-signed. Don't forget Ronaldo was furious for being substituted against Brentford, but Ralph Rangnick defended his decision to substitute Ronaldo against Brentford. Because prior to the Brentford game, Ronaldo missed the last 2 games because of injury. Couple of weeks ago now, where Ronaldo gave an interview, didn't he? And he was critical of the youngsters. So reflecting on that, Ronaldo's demanding more from the youngsters, and obviously he was backing Ralph Rangnick to do a good job. And Ronaldo also said, "I'm not at Man United to compete for 6th or 7th. He said, "Finishing below 3rd is unacceptable." Ronaldo is the best player in the world though overall. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Man United re-signed him last summer for 20 million with add-ons included. He wears the number 7 shirt and he's got a contract with Man United till 2023, an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Ronaldo's got 14 goals since he re-signed. He's got over 800 goals in his career. Yeah, the players are going to depart the club this year, but like I've already mentioned, most of Manchester United's outgoings will be in the summer. Maybe 1 or 2 more will leave before this January transfer window closes. So I think Cavani will leave this year. He'll probably leave in the summer because revert back to earlier on this season, Ralph Rangnick revealed that Edison Cavani wants to stay at Man United till the end of the season. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Juan Mata will leave as well this year. Lingard will leave, but like I said earlier on, we may have to wait until the summer to offload Lingard. Van der Beek looks like he's going out on loan. Matic, Man United will offload him as well this year. Jones and Bailly will leave this year. Do you think Telles could leave this year? I hope not, because Telles has been impressive under Rangnick, and Telles is our first choice left back under Rangnick. Reports from Spain said not so long ago that Harry Maguire and Boubacar will be leaving in the summer, and Man United will look to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. I initially thought Pogba was going to be leaving, but obviously, if Rangnick stays, Pogba's going to be staying. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.